Welcome back, everyone. Today we've got to make a repair to my propane truck, and we've got to use a little fire to do it. Let's get into it. So what we've got to do today is we've got to make a repair to our hose reel. And what happened a couple weeks ago is the axle that's attached to the hose reel right here rotted off, and just this whole thing just sheared off. So just for the meantime, I jammed a piece of tubing in there, just so that it was still somewhat usable for the time being. We had a new one made up. This is the axle here, and as you can see, this is all going to be attached to the tubing and whatnot. So we have to replace this while the tubing's still on, and in order to do that, we're going to have to burn off the propane in it. So right now you can see, maybe you can see, I've got a flare set up. We're 25 feet away from the truck. We're pretty much 25 feet away from everything. And basically what we're going to do is we have the shutoff off on the truck, so we're just going to burn off between the hose reel and here, so we can take the hose off and make the repair. And we're going to light this on fire. Now for us, and this is important for most people if you're doing this, is you're going to want to contact your, I would say fire marshal, but it's going to be different for everyone. We've learned this the hard way. When you make a big fire out back and people are driving by, they're going to call 911 left and right. So whenever we do this, we contact our local county non-emergency dispatch, and we let them know what we're doing, how long it's going to be. That way when they start getting calls in, they know what's going on, and they know not to send a fire truck over or anything like that. So make sure if you're doing this, you have the appropriate contact info for those people, because we've had multiple times where they just show up with fire trucks left and right, police cars, and no one's happy at that point. So let's make that phone call and then we'll get started. I'm calling because I'm going to be making some repairs to one of my propane trucks, and in order to do that, I'm going to have to burn off some of what's in it. We're going to be at our shop less than an hour. So if you give me an hour, I'll be done. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, you changed your PJs.
Yeah, I had a little curl up on them.
Oh. Hey, bud.
Over here.
Where are you?
Right here.
Hey.
Hi, you got new motorcycles.
You already got new motorcycles?
Yeah.
Happy, joy.
This is the new... What's this?
No, this is the old propane truck. We get the new oil truck next week.
Oh. Are you filling it up?
No, I got to make a repair to it, so I got to burn off what's in the hose.
You gotta stay back here.
Yeah, why don't you stand back here with Grandma?
Stand right there.
Grandpa!
I did.
Why?
Well, because when they don't, the neighbors will tell think the place is on fire. Probably not right.
No, what'll happen if it's not super, you can kind of see it right now. No, every once in a while you'll see liquid spit out of the bell, and that's because there's liquid filling up the tube and coming up, and it's not vaporizing fast enough before it comes out of the tube. And then you end up seeing like fireballs dropping to the ground. For those watching on the video, it's all Schedule 80 and Schedule 80 fittings.
You have a video going on there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should go back to work so I don't get fired.
Well, while that continues to burn out, I'm gonna pull the rest of So essentially what you're seeing right now is there's probably still some liquid in the line, and we vaporized it so quick that it went into auto refrigeration. And as the sun hits the hose and it's heating up a little bit, it's starting to vaporize a little, which is why we still have some lingering. Like if I light it right now, there's a little bit of flame right there. All right, now this pillow block bearing right here, you gotta remember to put it on before you assemble everything back together. The other side you can replace as needed, but this one you can only replace while it's apart. Alright, so now I'm unscrewing our swivel right here. I've got the hose reel jammed up with a piece of pipe. Okay, there it is disconnected. Just got to take off the chain and we should be able to lift this right out of here. All right, next we should be able to just gun these bolts out. They go straight through to the other side, and that's what holds this together. So theoretically, if we don't have any troubles, we should be able to just take these out, swap it, and be back in business. All right, so the way that this is actually put together is these are bolts on the end here, and they had just ground off the bolt heads and sanded them flat so it looked like a nut from this side. That plate can get cleaned up. There's just a bunch of salt caked in right at the flange, preventing it from coming out. There we go. That side off. Just going to take a picture of the orientation. Success. Success. All right, we'll take a little lunch break and then it's just reverse operations. All right, well, we're back from lunch. I cleaned some parts up off camera, and now we just got to put all this back together. I think what I'm going to do is put all the bolts on here, use the impact to snug it up, and then take the bolts off and put the the big gear on. I think that'll help. Alright, so it's probably my own doing, but I'm going to go ahead and just clean up these threads with a chasing die. They make kits that are called rethreading kits, and they look similar to taps and dies that you would use to cut threads, but they're designed just to chase threads. So like if you have a thread that's rolled over, these are designed to kind of straighten it back out. So now I'm just going to undo all these bolts and throw that big gear back on, wherever I put it. All right, so we're back at the point where we can throw this thing back up on here. I grabbed a new pillow block bearing for this side. I keep them in stock just because we have it apart. You know, might as well change it for what a bearing costs. I would have liked to change the sprocket in here for the motor. It's a bit worn, but I don't have any extra ones with me. That can be done after the fact. It's just, it would have been nice to do right now. So let's lift the other one up on here and get it through the new pillow blocks. All right, so per usual, we're going to do our tape and dope on a liquid application. Three wraps. Just enough dope to make a mess. We do it right because we do it twice. Alright, so I'm having a little issue with alignment, and I think it's because the new piece I got, this threaded piece, is 4 inches long and the old one was 3.5. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is loosen up the frame and just slide it over that way. That way it takes pressure off this joint here, because I can feel it binding up, and I think it's because I had to put pressure on that joint. All right, now we're putting our swivel fitting in. This is to connect to the hose easy. Question is, do I loosen this hose reel now or later? Because I really don't feel like doing it right now. All right, well that's moving a lot better. So now I just got to go find a drill bit, drill some new holes, tighten it up, and then we can throw the hose back on. All right, so I've got everything aligned pretty good, but I still have a little grinding in the back, and I started to come back here to look at the sprocket, and the sprocket itself to me looks like it's kind of came off the shaft a little bit, and I don't think I can get a camera in here for you guys, so I'm gonna just undo the set screws and try and tap this in a little bit, because other than that the hose reel is moving kind of buttery smooth. So if I can just tap that in a little bit, I think we should be good to go. All right, just getting a little grease on these new bearings while I work on this a little bit. All right, I think I'm actually pretty happy with how this has turned out now. So I think we're finally at the point where we can attach the hose. It's exciting. All right, let's give this a rip, see how it does. All right, well it rolled up really smooth, but kind of as expected, that sprocket in there's a little worn out, so it's under a heavy load it's kind of skipping under the chain. But pulling out, that feels real good. So I'm happy where this is at right now. I'll just have to pick up a new sprocket for that motor. And from here, all we got to do is bleed the line out through here, and we'll be all set. All right, everyone, that's it for today. We're all set, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.